what do you want to do in retirement? Is it travel, playing with your grandkids, or just doing your favorite hobbies that you like? Whatever it might be, I'd like to ask you something. How old do you want to be when you retire? I don't know about anyone else, but I don't want to be too old to do the things that I enjoy. This is why we need to talk about retirement planning, so that we're informed and we know what we want in our lives, and to improve our life to the way we want it to be when we retire. I've always been fascinated with what happens after you quit working, and because you've been working your whole life, I've always been fascinated what's at the end of the road for me. With this fascination, I have done countless hours of research, and many of the articles that I've read have been like Forbes, New York Times, and U.S. News. Not only by doing all this research, I have taken personal finance, corporate finance. Both have aided me in understanding of the financing behind being able to retire. Now, just saying retirement planning is like going into a food court and saying, I want food. And if you could please turn your attention to slide 2, I've got a picture of a food court for you. You know, lots of different choices. So not only are you going to get laughed at because there's so many choices, but you're going to get confused. Like, you won't know where to go because everyone will be like, oh, we got food, come on over here. That's not a good way to go. You got to go in knowing what you want. So that's why we're going to talk a little bit. I'm going to try to divide like the food court of retirement up, so that way you know what you want before you go in and try to find people that can help you. First thing we need to talk about is, what is retirement? What is planning for this retirement? Then we will discuss when to start and when to finish. Finally, we will define the tools available to help you reach your goal. Now let's just move on into the what is retirement and what is planning for it section. According to dictionary.com, retirement is the act of leaving one's career, usually being because of age. But that seems to me very cold and not a very positive outlook on life, in my opinion. When I think about retirement, I think it means a new chapter in my life, something that I can look forward to, a chapter in which I've worked my entire life to reach. It is a sign of better time for me, in which I can better do the things that I like to do all year long. You know, just, oh yeah, I want to go do that, I'll go do that. This is why I'm so passionate about retirement, because some find it in the end of times, but I see it as a new beginning. Now, according to Investopedia, sorry, I butchered that. The definition of retirement planning is the process of determining income goals and determining the actions necessary to achieve those goals. It's very straightforward and very accurate. That I agree with that definition. You know, when you're planning for the next chapter of your life, you need to know how much income you're going to want each year to spend on the things that you want to do, so that way you know what you can afford. Then you need to decide how you're going to reach that goal, and in your current financial state, which I understand that currently you aren't going to be in a good financial state because we're all college students, or we're all beginning our life early. You know, you don't have a whole lot of money to start contributing tons to retirement accounts, but you still can have a plan. You start small and stuff like that. And with starting a retirement plan, it requires you to think a little differently, in my opinion. Usually you want to think about how to start something, but in my experience with thinking about retirement, it's easier to think about when you want to finish work, when you want to be done working, when you want to start your retirement. So when you want to be finished with your savings for retirement, and then work your way back to when you should start saving for retirement. For example, I'd like to retire when I was 16. That's the example I'm going to show you. Please refer to slide 3, and I will walk through what's on slide 3. Therefore, I can I can find my finish point because I found my finish point because I guessed that I want to retire by the time I'm 60. So now I know I can work my way back towards where I can start saving. So, but there's one more step. So if I expect to live until I'm 90 and I'm retiring when I'm 60, that means I need to have 30 years of funds to make it so I survive until I get to my death point. So then you can figure out what you need to have in the bank when you turn 60 to retire, and so that way you have enough money to go all the way through. So for my retirement, I decided I would start. I want 60,000 worth of funds. 70,000. Sorry, not 60,000. $70,000 worth of funds each year to spend. So I calculate the amount that I needed in the bank at 60 for if I wanted to spend 7,000 or 70,000 a year for 30 years. To do that, I needed to use the financing formula of the present value of an ordinary annuity. There are other formulas I could have used, but this is the best one to figure out how much I needed it, how much I need to have in the bank at 60 to then make it all the way until I'm 90. Once I've completed that, I used the future value of annuity formula to calculate how much I need to save per year in order to reach the goal. So I can save enough money. So I did 2 different points. So I started saving at 25. So if I started saving when I'm 25, that's 35 years of savings. Okay, so I plugged that into my formula, used the future value, figured out how much cash flow I needed. Okay, so I need to put $8,646 in the bank each year to make my goal. That's $720 per month to make my goal, so I can live pretty nicely when I retire. But if I start when I'm 30 and I use the same formulas, I need to put $12,000, 12,187.71 each year into the bank. That means I have to save $1,015 every month. I have to save that. So I'm saving $300 by starting early. So my advice to you is when you want to retire, set your retirement and then start saving as soon as you can. Because the sooner you start saving, the better you're off you're going to hit your goal. There's lots of ways to save, but I'm only going to tell you about like 3 of the major ones. 401k is an easy employee offered program where the money's withheld straight from your check before taxes. It's taken out. You do have to pay taxes when it comes back out, but usually by then you're not making as much per year, so you're hoping you're in a different tax bracket. And so it's encouraged by the government because they're giving you a tax break now. So they want you to save into 401ks and 401k type of savings. A lot of the time, your employers can contribute to your 401k. And IRA stands for an individual retirement account. There's basically 2 types. There's can be more, but there's basically 2 types. There's the regular one, which you can contribute to, and the money grows tax-free. A Roth IRA, the difference between that and a regular one is that you contribute after-tax money, so it's after taxes, and then the money grows tax-free and can be withdrawn after 59.5 free as well, so free from tax. All this information, I verified my facts with the U.S. News Money section online. Now that you know some of the basic information, I would like to leave you with a question in your mind. What do you want in retirement? I've told you the definition of retirement and what it means to me. Now it's time for you to discover what it means for you. Whether you want to start saving today or 10 years from now. It's your choice. I can't tell you what to do with your money, but I'm telling you right now that it's better to start saving sooner. But you can still start saving when you're older. It's completely up to you. I would just like to see every single one of you make an effort to at least just look into starting your plan. And that's all I have for you guys. Have a great night.